Greetings, dear followers of Christ, and welcome to our channel. In times of great adversity, the faithful often seek signs, a voice from heaven to lead them through the darkness. Throughout history, God has sent messages through His chosen ones, urging us to turn back to Him before it's too late. Today we find ourselves on the brink of a spiritual conflict, and a new voice is calling out, a voice connected to a soul whose life continues to inspire millions. Antonia Salzano, the mother of Blessed Carlo Acutis, has had a series of prophetic dreams, carrying with them a grave and urgent warning for the world. Her message, born from a mother's grief but illuminated by heaven's light, demands our full attention. What she reveals is nothing less than a divine call for immediate spiritual preparation. Imagine the unbearable anguish of a mother who has lost her child. There is no greater sorrow or deeper wound. For Antonia, the loss of her beloved son Carlo, who passed away at just 15, left an irreplaceable void in her life. Yet from the depths of this sorrow, God allowed something extraordinary to unfold. Rather than succumbing to silent grief, Antonia began to experience vivid prophetic dreams, dreams where Carlo appeared, not as a distant memory, but as a messenger from heaven. In these visions, he was accompanied by saints who guided him. These dreams were not merely a source of personal comfort, but carried a far greater message. A warning for the entire world, foretelling events that could profoundly impact our understanding of faith, life, and the spiritual battles ahead. In one such dream, Antonia found herself in a radiant church, filled with a light unlike any she had ever seen. Carlo stood there not alone, but beside St. Francis of Assisi, a figure of peace and purpose. Though the scene was serene, the message it conveyed was anything but. It was a warning filled with urgency about a looming spiritual trial and a time of deep darkness. Carlo's face shone with divine light, revealing a role that extended far beyond his earthly life. The saintly presence and intensity of the vision made clear that something greater than personal suffering was being communicated, a mission not just for Carlo, but for all who call themselves followers of Christ. In the dream, St. Francis pointed to Carlo, and although no words were spoken, Antonia felt the profound significance of the moment. Carlo's role, even in death, was far from over. It was a mission that would reach into the future of the Church itself. Antonia's heart trembled under the weight of this revelation. She knew that the world was soon to face a great spiritual trial, a storm, not of wind and rain, but of darkness and confusion. And then Carlo appeared to her again in another dream. His presence was serene and filled with grace, yet his words carried the weight of a somber message. Carlo spoke of a world slipping into spiritual darkness, a time when many would lose their way and drift from their faith. The path of righteousness would become difficult to follow, and the forces of evil would work tirelessly to lead the faithful astray. "Mom," he said, his eyes filled with sorrow, "many will stray from the right path. Many will abandon their faith." He warned that the trials to come would touch everyone. No one would be spared from this time of testing, not even the Church. Yet, despite the darkness of the warning, Carlo also pointed to a source of hope. "Those who trust in God," he said, "those who keep their hearts deeply rooted in Him will be guided through the darkness." He stressed that prayer, faith, and a return to the sacraments would be the armor for this spiritual battle. Carlo emphasized the importance of spiritual vigilance, urging the faithful to prepare their souls as the time of reckoning was swiftly approaching. The words of Blessed Carlo, delivered through his mother, are a powerful call to awaken from spiritual complacency. His message speaks of an era where the world will be shrouded in spiritual confusion and darkness, not just a time of material or political turmoil, but a profound struggle where the soul of humanity is at stake. Evil forces will wage war on faith, attempting to lead people away from God and into despair. The faithful must understand that this battle is not one of flesh and blood, but a spiritual war for the very soul of humanity. Carlo's prophetic words carry great significance. Many will stray from the right path. This echoes biblical prophecies, such as those in the Gospel of Matthew, where it is written, "Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." Matthew 24:12. His message is clear. This falling away will not just be the result of external persecution, but also of internal spiritual weakness. The faithful must guard their hearts against the subtle deceptions of the enemy, which seek to erode their trust in God. Despite the grave warning, Carlo did not leave us without hope. The shield for those who will endure this period of testing is unwavering faith. The call to prayer, especially through the Rosary, and frequent reception of the sacraments are essential weapons in this spiritual battle. Carlo's own life serves as a model for this preparation. He lived a life rooted in daily Mass, devotion to the Eucharist, and service to others. His life stands as a testimony to the power of faith in the midst of suffering, and his message calls each of us to follow in that same steadfastness. Carlo's message is not just a warning but a mission. Those who hear it are called to be lights in the midst of darkness. The faithful are not meant to cower in fear, but to rise with confidence in God's mercy and strength. Just as Carlo used the tools of his time, like the internet, to spread the truth of the Eucharist, so too must we use every means available to bring the light of Christ into the world. We too must use every tool at our disposal to spread the message of faith and hope. Carlo's life continues to inspire, and in death his mission has only grown in reach and impact. Now more than ever, the world is in need of witnesses to the power of God's grace. The message from Carlo Acutis, delivered through the prophetic dreams of his mother, is not one to be taken lightly. It serves as a divine wake-up call, reminding us that the time for spiritual complacency has passed. We must remain vigilant, as the trials Carlo foretold are drawing near. Though his warning is grave, it is also filled with hope. God has not abandoned his people, rather he is calling us to come closer to him, to deepen our faith, and to prepare our hearts for what lies ahead. The faithful must respond with urgency. This is not a time to wait or assume that others will answer the call. Each one of us has a part to play in this spiritual battle. We are called to be warriors of prayer, grounded in the sacraments, and unshakable in our trust in God. Carlo's message is clear. Through faith, we will be shielded from the coming trials. To prepare our hearts means returning to the very foundations of our faith: daily prayer, regular confession, and active participation in the Eucharist. Just as Carlo found strength in these practices, so too must we find refuge in them. These spiritual disciplines will fortify us for the challenges ahead. Pray with passion and persistence, for prayer, especially the Rosary, is our greatest weapon against the forces of darkness. Our Lady has promised that through the Rosary, peace will come and victory will be achieved. Let us take up this spiritual tool, praying for strength, perseverance, and the conversion of souls. We must persevere in our faith. The trials Carlo has warned us about will test our resolve, but those who stand firm in their faith will be guided through the darkness. Carlo's life is a testament to the power of suffering offered up to God. His death, though deeply tragic, has become a source of hope for millions. We too must embrace this spirit of perseverance, trusting that God's grace will sustain us through whatever trials lie ahead. Carlo Acutis' life continues to shine as a beacon of hope in today's world, and his mother's prophetic dreams remind us that we are part of a much greater spiritual battle. This is a time for awakening, for preparing our souls, and for placing our full trust in God's unfailing love. Let Carlo's message inspire you to strengthen your faith, for the storm is coming, but those who stand firm in God will not be lost. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Share in the comments a special intention or desire for which you would like Blessed Carlo Acutis to intercede. Let us join together in prayer and faith.